So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they tried to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the fact that white people cannot stay out of black people's business. And we're also going to be looking at why white people cannot fathom the fact that black people can become better or excellent than them.
Right. We're also going to be discussing why white people are so obsessed with black people and they think that black people want to become them.
Right, guys. So without saying so much, let's watch what we prepared for you and then we come back and talk about it. You can also let us know your thoughts and opinion on what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right? So let's watch the reaction of white people in the presence of black excellence, if I may say so. Let's watch.
I think white people think that other people want to be them. I think they think other people want to be white. They actually think that people are looking at them ordering Charlie Kirk's at Starbucks in a show of solidarity and thinking, God, I wish that was fucking me. They think people want to be like them. Bro, nobody wants to be like white people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. This video is so funny because it is true. Like, white people think that they are the norm, the status quo, and that they are the blueprint for things, and everything outside of the scope of being white is not normal. I can speak boldly for the majority of black people on earth, and I will say 99.999% of black people. In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. With everything that we experience in the world, with everything, all the history we have, all the racism, microaggressions, macroaggressions existing in this world, having to prove yourself, being better than everybody just to get an equal level playing field, I would always choose to be black.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
The funny part about it is not even that they can't fathom a world where you would be considered better looking than them. It's that they know in a lot of cases that you are better looking than them. It's just that they can't fathom you still being picked over them, because at the end of the day, they're still white. Like, the amount of times that I've been like party to this or have watched this happen is insane. Like, the PhD level logic jumps that white women will do sometimes in order for it to make sense to them why you would be like a preference somehow is crazy. Like, in a lot of instances, they will fully admit that you are as good looking or better good looking than they are. But whether or not they realize it cognitively, the underlying thought about their confusion of other people finding you attractive is that they're white. At the end of the day, you might be better looking, but they're white. They are the type, right? Like, like you can't. It's not possible. Like, as a Black woman, you could be drop dead gorgeous. You could be like on a scale of 1 to 10 a 10. But in order for it to make sense to them, why they should still like be picked, they'll start taking up points. Like, oh, you're, got 4C hair, -1. You're dark skinned, -1. Like, you have a Black name, up, that's -1. You're not then, minus. And like, in the instances that you as a Black woman are still picked over them, it'll never be because you're more attractive than they are. Even if they know and acknowledge that you are, it will always be there's something wrong or deficient in the man. Like, even if they think that you are more attractive than they are, right? It will never be the reason why someone that they want or they find attractive would pick you over them, right? It can't be that, because at the end of the day, yeah, you might be more better looking, but you're white, right? Like I used to work with this white girl, and neither of us was objectively more attractive than the other, right? I would say we were about like the same level of attractiveness, right? And whenever we went out after work, we were always in like the meat packing, Chelsea, Greenwich, Soho kind of area, right? And there weren't like a ton of Black people at the places we were going. And dudes who wanted to hit on us, right, would typically come up in pairs. Like, if there was a Black guy and a white guy coming up to us, the Black guy would talk to her, the white guy would talk to me, right? If there were two white guys, the objectively more attractive white guy would talk to me, right? And one day we were out, and this guy that she had spotted and thought was really cute ended up coming over to us, but he came over to us to talk to me. And when we were leaving, she was like, it's so crazy, the kind of guys that always try to talk to you. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, yeah, because you're with me, they must think that you're the type of Black girl that only dates white guys. And they're clearly like the kind of white guys that only date Black girls. Like, they're super into rap and blah, blah. Meanwhile, these are like finance dudes, like wearing Patagonia vests. Like, these were not light-skinned Travis Kelce whites. These were like corn-fed Nebraska whites. Like, this was very much like not the vibe they were putting out, right? But for it to make sense to her that these white boys wanted to talk to me over her, when, in her mind, we're both like equal attractiveness, there has to be something wrong with them. They must just not like white women. It's not that they thought I was more attractive than her, because I'm not more attractive than her. In her mind, we are the same level of attractiveness, but she's white, so she should be the one that they pick. No, they must not like.
I couldn't imagine not having 20 cousins, having fake cousins, being communal, going to church, having growing up in my grandmother's house, having dinner at my grandma's house, having a drunk uncle that has hoop dreams at 50 who used to be a rapper. I couldn't imagine not having all the things that bring me together as a Black person with other Black people. Seasoned food, rhythm, music, clothes, swag, style, impact. I just could not imagine not being this person. So if you're watching this and you're white and you really think that you are the blueprint because the world has told you so, that's a lie, bro. It's a lie. I would never want to be white. Even, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there that have issues internally, self-hatred, and that's due to our history in this land and the world. But the majority of us would always choose to be melanated in the next lifetime. Have a wonderful day.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section, yeah? You know, for some reason, it just seems like white people can never leave black people alone, yeah? And you look at the recent examples where white people want to formulate white-only towns, right? But even in some ways, they always find a way to get into the business of black people. Why am I saying this? If you look at time immemorial, what they normally do to black people, yeah? It's like when black people do something, they just have to know what's happening. They keep on monitoring what the black community is doing. God forbid the black community to just do their own things in peace and the white community not know about it, you know.
Right, and a particular video I'm gonna be talking about is of the white man who said that amongst his ranks, a lot of white people usually think that black people want to become like white people, right? And from where I'm standing, right now, knowing the benefits I do know about melanin, right? If I were to be reincarnated again into this world, I'd still choose to be a black person because at least I don't, okay, some people have said that some black people need sunscreen to go out to the sun, but to be quite honest with you guys, as I usually say and I'll always say, I just use Vaseline. I never use any sunscreen when I go out, you
And
know.
some people argue that Vaseline is also a
Sunscreen. So,
is it?
Anyway, but that being said, why would I ever exchange the privilege of enjoying sun, of this, the energy of the sun being converted into, what is it called? Positive hormones that I can use in my brain. Why would I ever exchange that power for a power of hiding when there is sun if you don't have sunscreen?
Right, and I wish that a study could be carried out into trying to understand the obsession that white people have with black people, you know. And I feel like for the most part of it, when I say even in history it used to happen, you look at the black inventors that right now are coming to light, the black inventions that were stolen by the white community, and you're like, probably this is why they are not leaving black people alone, because they know, okay, personally, if you don't know yourself, then it's very easy for someone to try and manipulate you and tell you you're not who you think you are, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, you know, they usually say, when a table is set, what do you bring to the table, you know, or what do you come with to the table, right? Or what specialization do you have when you're seated at the table, right? And for the most part, I do feel like black people usually just live carefree lives, and they don't feel a need to prove themselves when they sit at this table, because you don't hide under the sun. You embrace the sun and you walk, you know. And I feel like to some degree, black people usually walk with that a bit carefree attitude, because you don't have to think about those little things, especially if and when you know that the original mankind was black, you know.
Right.
So that alone gives you the arrogance of sitting in
You're born in the right
table, you know. But I do feel like for white people, for a long time, they've hidden under achievements like inventions and innovations. Even if it meant some of it they had to steal, they hid under that so that they could bring that to the table. Of which, this just brings me to another point that I've been thinking, which you usually say that sometimes people say that white people are strategic, but of late I feel like white people are not strategic, they're manipulative.
Conniving.
Very much. You know, I do feel like they're not strategic, they're manipulative and conniving. Not all of them, most of them, because I kid you not, right now, I'm kind of beginning to realize that I can be here seated, you know, without a care in the world, just
Without any
living my
agendas.
life, and I can be here seated with a white person, but a white person has
already 10 steps ahead of you.
10 times ahead of me, how he will either colonize me or take my job away, or just, you know, something
the source of food you have in this environment,
in order for them to have a say.
Maximum profit.
Yeah, it makes me wonder and ask myself, why do they need to have that particular nature in order to feel like that is how they can survive where black people are at?
Right. You know, guys, somebody once said, there was a creator I was watching, and they were talking about how when God created, right, he was very purposeful, you know, and he created things with a lot of purpose. And therefore he said, yeah, what was the purpose of God creating sun and God creating human if he knew this could not survive with this, together? And so when you look at black people, they are able to walk under and bask under the sun. But for white people, it's not okay. It's not unknown that they kind of struggle under some kind of weather conditions. And somebody was saying sometimes you see people from the white community doing things and you emulate or copy the culture. You don't know what struggle they were facing before they started living that life. Exactly. And somebody said sometimes things become culture and these cultures are adopted into fashionable things, like for example wearing capes and sunglasses. You get what I'm saying? But black people, like, there's some things you don't need to do but you find yourself doing. The same goes to food. There are things that okay, when you look at Africa, some indigenous seeds right now are becoming extinct. Why? Because they're trying to introduce GMO foods in Africa. Already the Western world is cooked, and this I say with no offense, but a lot of foreigners come into Africa. Let me just speak
And they
for
even
Kenya.
say that the food is different, especially
exactly,
things like sausages, African
organic.
sausages. Well, we've had a lot of foreigners say
about
that African sausages, ours from Kenya, they feel more organic and sweeter than
the ones from America. Even the plants, tomatoes, you talk about vegetables like kale, spinach, these things, they feel organic, but the ones in the Western world are not so organic. I'm guessing because of the GMO and the corporations that are trying to make profit off of them, And then the fast foods that was introduced in America and the first world countries that became a thing. Why am I talking about this? Because this person who I was listening to, the creator was talking about this, said some people will destroy what they cannot have naturally, you get. And the reason why this person was saying this is because if you can't walk under the sun, you can't enjoy the elements freely. What do? If I can't have them, neither can you. So you start creating problems that if you don't want to suffer alone, also black people should suffer with you, so you start creating situations where it's affecting the other people. Does that make sense?
and I also feel like for the crop of white people who feel like black people want to become them, the crop of black people they talk about are black people who are not self-aware, black people who do not know the importance of melanin, the black people who when presented with a means of bleaching will bleach their skin. And also this crop of white people, they say that because they themselves don't know the importance of melanin and the advantages of having melanin in your body, and that is why they think every black person will trade that in order to become white.
That is very, very true. What you've said is very important. We cannot dispute the fact that, yes, there are people who he speaks about, people who really want to become white to the extent where they're going to bleach their skins, right? And those are the examples of people. But to be quite honest, personally, from where I'm sitting, these are the people, as you said, you look at them and they are 100% not self-aware. They look at themselves and they loathe themselves because the mental colonization that was done to them is still affecting them, And for white people, I do know that much as even in the black community, you have the black people who want to be white, even in the white community, the same struggle is shared. There are some white women who look at black women and the way they are created, the way they have naturally have
is
things,
natural, plump lips and all that.
Right. I would say the Kardashian family is a perfect example. People going for surgery to get things, that, they weren't
kind of resemble how a black woman would look like.
Exactly.
Like physically.
Right. Guys, there was a black American who came to Kenya and they were talking about how they were seeing the dummies, these things you normally put clothes on. They were seeing them and they were like, wow, even women in Africa have figures better than, people. And this person was talking about how even the dummies in Africa has been created to kind of, imitate that figure. And she was saying, guys, let us know if this is true.
Yeah, dummies in America do
They're
not
plain.
have figures. They're just straight, is what they were saying.
And that was to say that in America, them, not a lot of them, or should we say a big population of them, they're not created like the way black women are created,
Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Do you have any last words?
Last words to say is just that, like, for as long as the black community, there are some people who do not know their true importance and their purpose they are serving on earth. They will continue being fed these lies that they don't matter. Whereas there are white people who already know the greatness that black people walk with. So for as long as that doesn't happen, they won't ever know who they are. And personally, I can say the black community, people are proud of being who they are.
At least the ones that are self-aware.
Exactly. And for as long as white people know the importance or greatness of being black, they will forever be in black people's business. Even them themselves might not be able to understand why, but it's gonna get to a point where they can, like, we're already at that point, they cannot stay out of black people's businesses because they always want to know what's going on in the black community, So are they ever going to stop? Are they ever going to stop being in black people's businesses? I don't think that is possible.
Right. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.